everyone. My name is Chris de Blasio. Thank you for coming. Terrific night of boxing. 4 excellent fights on Showtime pay-per-view tonight. Like to get right to it. We'll get to your press questions, but first, 154-pound world champion Jermell Charlo. I'd like to ask you to come to the podium, give your comments from the night, and then we'll take questions from the press. Thanks, Mel. Your assessment of the fight today.
Shit, what a night, you know. I'm proud of myself, you know, took a chance, jumped out there strong, right off a hand injury, jumped up there with the best, one of the best guys in the division, one of the best guys in boxing. So my head is held high. I am proud of myself. I've done an awesome job for Lions Only and my crew and my team. And I love boxing, so I'm not going nowhere. And you know, just jump right into it. And you know, Canelo's a motherfucking beast. You know what I'm saying? He an ox. You know, maybe I felt that more because of the fact that you know, this is my first time at that weight division. I wish I could have gained a little bit more weight in between you know, from the weigh-in to that time, but I can't control my body and I can't, you know, but like God had this already written, and you know, I'm glad that I was in there with you know, to put on the performance for Showtime pay-per-view. Questions?
Hey, Jermell, did you feel like his strength was an issue? Like, you know, he was able to kind of back you up a lot throughout the fight. Was that an issue?
I feel like, you know, you can't just charge at any fighter, you know, like, you can't, you know, his power did play an effect, but it wasn't like too dominant to a point where I couldn't come forward, and I should have came forward a little bit more in this fight. But, you know, I'm human and you get tired, you're lateral movement, and, you know, like I said, I felt some of his punches, so it's cool.
And I think you said you weighed about 172 or 173. In your opinion, what would have been optimal if you could have, you know, gotten a little heavier? How much more would have made a difference?
Maybe 5 pounds, possibly more. You know what I mean? I just felt his, you know, the same strength that he normally have. You know, like what we usually see. Like I said, I was testing myself in there, so you know, that is. Thank you.
Question in the back.
Jermell.
I can't see. Oh,
sorry.
Stand by.
Yo, Mel, what's up, brother? Congratulations on just, you know, being a part of this big event. In the 7th round, you got hit with a big shot, and you didn't initially go down. It looked like you took a knee. I kind of wanted to know what, in that moment, like, was it, you know, you got stung and you were trying to clear your head? What happened in that moment for you?
Yeah, you know, like, that was like my true first time, like, you know, feeling, you know, like a woozy shot, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the one always giving them. And so, yeah, I knew best. I watched boxing and been a part of it so long that, you know, if I would have just jumped out there, I'd have kind of embarrassed myself. So, you know, or she could have been different. But I was smart enough to regroup, recover, and I recovered really fast. Probably could have stayed up or whatever, but I'd have just been fighting, trying to clear my head and still getting head shots.
Were you really hurt in that moment? You came back and you threw a hook right after that seemed to land pretty good. You feel like you were still in the moment, like you were fine after that moment?
Correct. Yeah, I was good. You know, I get back up for nothing. I got my eyes back up. You know, get back up and continue to fight.
Jermell, right here in the front row.
Yep.
With the Associated Press, you mentioned to Kevin that he's not the type of opponent that you just charge at, that you come out. Throughout the fight, it looked as if you were trying to sort of get into your groove, but he was controlling tempo. Was there ever a point in the fight you felt comfortable, that you felt that you were in control or at your pace, your tempo, or did you feel that you were having to adapt and fight his fight?
I really don't know what round it was, but it was like within some of the later rounds. I felt like I hit him with a solid 1-2 that was kind of like effective. He didn't see some, outside him with a good hook that was kind of blinding. He didn't possibly see. But, I felt like I never got to a real point till I can get into my bag like I wanted to, truly.
Jermell, how did you feel about this experience in the super middleweight division? And after your rest, who's next?
I'm going back down to 154, so that's going to be major. I can do it. Yeah, I can make the weight easy. And the experience was amazing. It was cool. I appreciate period. But get up to the Mexicans that support them. I never want to leave out my African American fans because I want to say you can't leave them out. Just as well.
At the higher weight that you were tonight, did you feel sluggish or anything, or how did you feel when you were moving around the ring?
A little tad bit. I'm used to moving around much lighter, of course, but it was fine. I moved around. I was just trying to follow my game plan of my coaches, and a part of that was really coming forward, but moving around was a part of the game plan too. But I didn't, I felt the weight, of course.
Jermell, over here. Congratulations on your effort. Given you've said you're going back to 154, you've got 3 of the belts in that division. Is the obvious fight to make the winner of Tim Tszyu and Brian Mendoza?
I just follow the plans and I fight whoever. Obviously, we can see. It's about being great, and I'm already a legend in boxing. Hopefully, y'all put me in the Hall of Fame. I don't know who the hell controls that, but I deserve it. And possibly I'll come back to 154, or I'll just listen to my coaches, let them tell me what to do next, and I'm on it.
Would you like to become undisputed again, though, at 154?
Of course, but it's about fighting the best fights and making the most money at this point in my life and career. So fighting, Brian Mendoza or Tszyu, who got an Australian fan base, it's just not as satisfying to me sometimes. But like I said, I listen to my coaches, follow the plans of my management, and go from there.
Jermell, Ernesto Amador from Lopez Juan Boxeo. And the same question, please, for Johan Guzman. You mentioned that you can beat Canelo, that you are ready to beat his skills. Canelo's skills surprise you? Because Canelo mentioned it's different when you talk about me, but in the ring it's gonna be different. So Canelo's skills surprise you?
Personally, I don't want to say it surprised me. He showed his attention span was a lot thicker in the ring than it seems. I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know that game plan. But just watching his skills in the ring with me, I felt like I could have did a lot more than I did. So I've seen it before. I've been in the ring with a lot of different fighters, and I've seen people with, I've seen skills, and he has some great skills in the ring. You got to give it to him. I don't even know when the last time I even talked about his skills. That's just something that he needed to motivate himself. Be it. We're here to fight, and I got in there to fight. It's as simple as that. So skills, everybody. If you at the top and you're pound for pound, and you're one of the best fighters in the world, you gotta have some type of skills. So did I not believe in his skills? Shit, I don't know when I didn't believe in his skills. I don't care about that. I don't believe in nobody's skills. I think I'm the best fighter in the world. I still think that right now. So I'm cool. I'm cool with that.
Hey, Jermell, right here. Dan Rayfield.
How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you. I wondered, it seemed like, you obviously got behind in a hole early, no doubt about that. So I wonder at what point in the fight did you realize this is not going how I wanted it to go, and at some point I'm going to have to radically change the plan and maybe try to sell out a little bit or whatever, because it never really seemed to happen.
Yeah, it didn't. It sucks. In the second round, Coach Derek let me know like I slipped up on that round, and I lost the second round, and I was like, damn. So I just never got to a point where I can make the fight more to a point where they could put a little bit of pressure on his team, a little bit more pressure on him as well. So that's part of it.
So the other question I had then was, and maybe I missed this before he came in, when he dropped you, I think it was the 7th round.
Yeah.
What kind of power did he have, and did that make you reticent to try to sell out the rest of the fight because you might get caught with something huge coming back?
Nah, I don't know what you mean by sell out.
Just like go for it, not wildly and recklessly, but just go and do what you can do and try to really just pick up the pace.
No sellout period whatsoever. It was just about continuing to just fight the way you fight and try to optimize everything that the coaches say and hurry up and get it done. And so it was a flash. It was like a shot I didn't see, and I regrouped myself. I gave myself a chance to regroup, but I thought, like, okay, now we got to go back and win the next few rounds because I know when it's an 18 round.
Thank you.
Jermell, over here.
I can't find it.
Muhammad Mubarak with EURweb.com.
Hello, Mom.
Throughout the fight, it seemed to be a habit that he had of putting you in a headlock and trying to get rough with you.
Right.
Did it bother you any time? Any of those tactics?
No, not at all. I don't think so. Not that. I do remember the headlock a few times. Matter of fact, every time I kind of got in that position, I felt that, he's a clever fighter.
Do you think that maybe if you were a little more aggressive,
maybe I could steal that from him in the future?
What do you think that you could have been more aggressive than you were throughout the fight?
I could have, yeah. I could have been more aggressive, honestly.
Jermell, to your right.
Yeah.
Francisco Salazar, Ring Magazine. One of the game plans that Al Bernstein focused on for Canelo was putting off the ring. Do you think that maybe that was one component that maybe worked against you, that he cut off the ring more quicker, more sooner than you expected him to do?
No, I actually thought that, you're from Ring Magazine, boxing, when you're in a square circle, I felt like I was rotating pretty well, getting around, and I was able to catch a lot of shots with my gloves. So I did rotate well. It was just about my attack when it came down to after I rotated and got out of the shot, or blocked the shot. My return was my issue, and in my aggressiveness of going forward.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Time for just 2 more, then we'll let Jermell.
Jermell Charlo. Steve Corino, Carell, Artist Sportsman. Congratulations on a great performance, great effort. Could you clarify what's going on with the WBO? I know you were going to be undisputed for this fight. They said they were going to ship you afterwards. Just what's going on?
Is the WBO in the room at all? Is there any representative for the WBO?
They're not going to say it.
I mean, they have to, right? I mean, this is a big fight. This is, I don't know, truthfully, I would like to talk with somebody from the WBO and see what kind of issues they can resolve. I don't know if they already made their decision or whatever they made, but that was already taken from the beginning before the fight, and that sucks. Part of life and a part of I gotta just continue to roll with the punches, but Jermell Charlo never get the fair end of the stick. I gotta go and fight for mine, but I believe that moving up to 2 weight classes to fight for Undisputed and continue to stay active. And of course, I wasn't active for a year because I was off with a hand injury. And from the moment that my hand got injured, the fight got canceled, whatever happened, the WBO sent me letters from like 30 letters and had me going back and forth to the doctor randomly, just having to prove to them that MRIs and CAT scans and CT scans and X-rays and any time that they wanted to. They must really, got a relationship with the people in Australia. So, and that's okay with me. And I just got to continue to be a champion and continue to fight and bars none. Put my heart on the line every time I get in there. Yeah.
Jermell,
Oh.
Lance Buckner, PPV.com. I wanted to ask you, I know you talked about this in the ring. Terrence Crawford, does that make all the sense in the world for your next fight?
Yeah. You know, Terrence Crawford could be on the radar. I think he already probably been on Twitter, you know, like lip wrestling with the internet, just to get some clout, some fans, and it's fine. You know, but you know, he's a champion. He's great at what he do, and you know, my brother Earl got to get it on with him. And Earl want his lick back, so that's what boxing is about. So for the next few years, or in due time, you guys will be completely entertained, and maybe I'll talk a little bit more shit because that's what y'all want from me. Because Terrence Crawford is talking shit, so they're gonna bring out a different animal in me, but I don't know which animal.
Jermell, thank you.
Where you at?
Back here. Thank you very much. Terrific promotion. Appreciate all your hard work.
Hey, shout out to Floyd. He came in, showed me some love. You know, I gotta let y'all see the great, you know, come around to y'all.
Floyd Mayweather.
All right, I guess I'm out. Lines only for life.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Floyd Mayweather, undefeated, TBE. I'd like you to take to the podium. Tell us.
Hello, everyone. Tonight, I gotta let Leonard do the introduction, and the reason why is because y'all know how it is. If I get in the ring with one of my fighters, I'm still in the shine, and if I don't show up, I'm hating on him. So I let Leonard do it.
I just wanted to introduce Mayweather Promotions' most recent signee. He's a future world champion. He had an outstanding performance tonight. He's 1-0, and he's on his way to greatness. Carell Moulton.
Y'all gotta show my fighter a little bit more love than that. Y'all realize we put our lives on the line. There's blood, sweat, and tears. See, a lot of y'all sit behind a computer and write about us fighters, but you guys never take the time out to really go in the gym and see what these guys go through. Now, on media day, you guys do show up, and we're appreciative because without the media and the support from the people from all walks of life around the world, we wouldn't be where we at. So I want to say thank you to all the media, the different media outlets. Kevin, you guys have been with me, 27 years? So, I know what it takes when it's a fight of this magnitude. And I was the same young fighter before, and I had a dream. So I'm proud of you. And it's no different from other young fighters that I believed in, that I said was going to be good and great someday. Just like Gervonta Tank Davis, he was in the same shoes you were in, and they didn't believe, but then when it happened, they believed, then all the jealousy came. So I'm proud of you, and I'm pretty sure they got a few questions for you. Come on up. Come on, Kevin. I need you.
We didn't see the fight. We were in here.
What?
How did you feel? Tell us how you felt in your. Tell us how you felt.
Yo. I got one. Hey, Carell, what's up, brother? Congratulations on your first win, debut. You put him out pretty quickly. You know what I'm saying? This being your first fight, was there any jitters? How did you feel actually? Kind of breaking yourself in.
I felt ready. I had a great camp with my team, and I know I had Floyd behind me. He believes in me, so I had the utmost confidence going into this fight, and I went in there and did what I do.
I just had one other one. I had the chance to talk to Leonard this week. He said that you graduated from Floyd Mayweather University. He said you've been with him since he was about 5 years old.
About 8 years old.
Yeah, Floyd, how you've seen it all. How far do you feel like, just based on seeing them and training them, that Carell will go?
Well, he's only 17 years old. He's only 17. And a lot of amateur experience, international experience. But, and it's crazy, my Uncle Jeff, he's right there. He has the Mayweather channel, so you guys can show love and support him on YouTube. But with this being said, Jeff he got a lot of, solid fighters in the gym. And these guys work with one another every day and push each other to be great. And at 8 years old, 9 years old, I always told him in due time. Everything takes time. And I feel like, the timing is right. Even if he still want to go to the Olympic Games, we still want to put him in the Olympic Games, but why not get him started right now? And Leonard, Showtime, Steven, I want to say, thank you just for believing in me. When no one else believed in me, you guys believed in me. When I came to you guys and I said, this is the deal that I want. And the deal that I wanted was the deal that I had couldn't have no limit on it. Just me being with you, and when I talk about this to everyone, when you look at certain athletes' careers, when you look at Michael Jordan's career, Michael Jordan got with a company which was Nike. In America, we like to call it Nike, even though it's Nike. It was a $300 million company. He turned that company became a $168 billion company. And Michael Jordan don't own nothing from that company. Whereas with me, I gambled on myself. And with that $750 million came from you guys. So I just want to say thank you. And today, the things that I'm able to do for these young fighters is, even with today, with him going out there fighting, I was able to get him sponsorship where he was able to make more money with the sponsorship than when he fought. So, and then what we're going to do is teach these kids about being financially responsible so that when he's my age, he's living okay. So I'm very proud of you. We want to make sure that you invest in real estate, like myself, and make some smart investments so you don't end up like a lot of other athletes. And we don't want the sport of boxing to retire you. You want to be able to retire from the sport when you're ready, so you can be like me, articulate well, and you still got all your faculties. So I'm proud of you. Only 17, so you have a lot, and a lot of stories they're gonna write. You're gonna have good stories. You're gonna have bad stories, but it's up to you to know what you want out here in this world. You stay positive. You keep believing, and you surround yourself with positive people, and anything can happen.
I want to say thank you to Floyd Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions, Showtime, and I just appreciate it.
Carell, right here in the front row. Willie Ramirez with the Associated Press. So my question is, and this is sort of to piggyback off what Floyd just said. You've been with around since a little boy. And I'm sure him and Leonard have taught you and sort of preached the hard work that it takes in the ring. What have you learned watching him as a young man growing into 17 years old outside the ring, of how you have to carry yourself, and not as a boxer, but as a grown man?
Like Floyd said, I've learned just how to handle myself, the way he carries himself with confidence and stands on his business. And I just plan to follow his footsteps and be the next big thing.
My question is for...
I want to piggyback off that question. I want these young guys to be better than me. I really want these young fighters to be better than me outside the ring. Remember, I didn't have... You know, you got to realize I come from a real rough background. Very, very rough background. And even though I had a great father, and I say great because without my father, all of this wouldn't be possible. So I want him to be better than I was. All the certain mistakes that I made, I didn't have a Floyd Mayweather to be there for me, to teach me certain things. But I want everyone to know, my children, every day I wake up, I'm happy that God has blessed me with healthy children. A lot of things that we take for granted, and those are the things that I don't take for granted. Yes, I had a great career. Yes, I made a bunch of money. But one of the most important things about my career was my defense. You know, it's just like when you guys look at guys like Sugar Ray Robinson, and you guys look at certain fighters like Muhammad Ali. There's nothing great about taking punishment, being able to talk, voicing your opinion, and then when you're in a position where you can't talk and you can barely walk, the world want to say that, oh, you're the greatest. If I got to be put in that position to be great, then that's not for me. You know, as you guys can see, I have my grandson there with me today, and that's a great thing that I'm able to play with him. You know, I'm still able to do exhibitions, travel the world, and like I said before, I didn't do this all by myself. You guys, the stories that you guys wrote helped. Whether it was a negative story, a positive story, you guys kept my name out there. And I will put him in a position to keep his name out there in a more positive light. So I'm proud of you. Leonard's proud of you. Mayweather Promotions is proud of you. And a lot of these media guys, I want you to look at them, because you got to turn the non-believers into believers. Because all these guys for many, many years said, oh, this is the guy that's going to beat Floyd, and this is the guy that's going to beat Floyd, and I proved them all wrong. So it's about self-preservation as a law of the land. You have to believe in yourself before anyone else can believe in you.
This is for Carell and for Floyd, if you can answer this. We were with Shakur Stevenson yesterday. He had very high praise for you. He spoke about not in detail about the sparring, but just he was so impressed with you in the sparring earlier this year. And when he was asked who you remind him of, he said Naoya Inoue, which is pretty high praise. I'm just wondering what you think of that, and Floyd, maybe who he reminds you of.
Yeah, I've known Shakur for a long time throughout the amateurs. He watched me grow up in the amateurs too, and with the comparison, I mean, Inoue is a solid fighter. He has skills. He's fast, strong, but I feel like I'll be a lot bigger than him. I'll be a lot better fighter than him when it's all said and done. And I'm just getting started. I'm 17. It's my pro debut, and I feel like I have a lot of potential, and I'm gonna show it.
I can't really say who his style is like. You know, that kid from Japan, he's a hell of a fighter. Hell of a fighter. And what we doing in today's time, we making dream matches. No different from, we done the Mayweather Canelo, we done the Mayweather McGregor, we done the Mayweather Pacquiao. We do the biggest matches out there. So in due time, we never know. It could be him. And I don't really know how to pronounce his name, but the kid from Japan, if that's okay, no disrespect. But And we know Shakur is one hell of a fighter, you know. And soon he'll be in a position where he's beating everybody. Then eventually, everybody be calling you out. No different from everybody wants to fight Tank. This is how it works in the sport of boxing. At one particular time, I wanted to fight everyone. It was very difficult. It was very hard. Then once I became the man, damn near 20 years, I was the man. And every fighter wanted to fight me. So that's how it works. But I want these media guys to, you know, take some time out their schedules, some time and just go to the gym and see how these fighters run. Follow them when they go home. See how they live. This kid come from nothing like myself. So when these kids come from nothing, and when he was a kid, when he didn't have nothing, I make sure that I was there. So these are the things that we don't talk about, or we don't, you know, I don't glorify, because when I do certain things, I do it with just a beautiful heart for a kid like this. When he was a kid, if him and his father, Curtis, can barely make ends meet, I wanted to make sure that their rent was paid. I wanted to make sure they had food in their refrigerator. When I get on the podium and I win a fight, I never talk about these things. Mark my word, remember this. Within 24 months, he'll be a multi-millionaire. Remember, I told you that. Now mark it down, because I told you guys before. Remember, I told you guys about certain things. I told you guys about Gervonta Tank Davis. You guys didn't listen. I told you about how easy the Pacquiao fight was going to be. You guys said it wasn't so. Like, I'm like Nostradamus. Y'all know when I predict something, it's going to be what it's going to be. So within 24 months, he'll be a millionaire.
Carell right here. Right here.
What up?
This is Skip Brown from Dante's Boxing Nation. Congratulations, young man, on a great victory. I have a two-part question, one for you and one for
Dante, I think he be a my champ, don't he?
So my first question to you is, how does you backed by arguably one of the greatest of all time? Right?
No. What are we rating myself on? What are we rating on?
Okay.
Well, we want to know, in the least amount of fights, you know, I didn't have to have 70 fights, 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest game?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
It's basically saying that.
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
No disrespect, champ. No disrespect. No, my question to my question to you first, Carell. How does it feel to be back?
Hurry up, because we'll let Canelo come.
All right, by the greatest of all time. How does it feel to be back by him? And now you took your first step into creating your own greatness. And Floyd, my question for you is, what was it like for you? What was going through your mind after your first victory?
We can't be disrespectful. When he gets to a certain level, we got to let Canelo come here. You know, no disrespect. This Canelo is the main event and the main attraction. So I'm not going to do that. Dante, you're going to be able to pull us to the side so we can talk and answer that question.
Okay.
You know, I got to respect Canelo. Hell of a champion. Done a hell of a job tonight. It's best that we let Canelo get a shot.
TBE, Floyd Money Mayweather, and the young standout Jermell Charlo. All right, we have Saul Canelo Alvarez just moments away getting set to answer all of your questions. So we will be back with Canelo Alvarez in just a few moments.
Sigmund Freud would have this on guitar. Like, I want to see him make Canelo embrace. Right there. Yeah, she was like, no, you can't. I say,
Since I won that case. Before that case. Yes. I don't know why I did the most fight. Yes. The middleweight
Para mí, todavía sería una pelea sí, era
when do you start your season? Yeah, so about
like your first round of 100 that you did.
I would say almost like it's really not used. It's not Dead is the constant. There's no feedback, right? Unless they do something. siempre va a tener esta Canelo became at the moment?
Charlo got him. Yeah, he's like another player tomorrow.
And that's that? What's that got to do with me? I'm the one, man. Estamos viejos, homie. No aguanto, güey. 41. Look at David. Oh, there you go. I think one of them is making last one. Oh, man, let him in. I told him to hook him up with hey, better take care of this kid. Oh, for sure, man. Don't find it. So August has a lot of people. 14 years old. This was really big. You good? All right. That's yours, right?
Apparently they're walking. I think they're on their way, guys. Stay tuned.
The tripod thing with that tengo afuera de Have
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Once again, welcome in outside T-Mobile Arena, capping off another tremendous event brought to you by Showtime Pay-Per-View and Premier Boxing Champions. If you missed the main event, it will be replaying next Saturday on Showtime, followed by the Emmy Award-winning All Access Epilogue. But first, we would like to welcome the man that needs no introduction, successfully defending his undisputed super middleweight crown, the third defense, first man in the four-belt era to do that successfully. He is a four-division world champion accompanied by longtime trainer Eddie Reynoso. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in Saul Canelo Alvarez. All right, and now we will turn things over to Canelo as he will make his opening comments talking about his defeat of the undisputed junior middleweight champion Jermell Charlo. Canelo, take it over.
No, I just want to thank everybody for your support. Thank you, and I'm sorry for waiting that much, but I need to do my doping and all that stuff. But thank you so much, everybody. I'm so happy because I did what I supposed to do, right? And I feel great. I feel great, and I'm so happy.
All right, if you please raise your hand. We'll now open questions up to media.
Canelo, directly right here in front of you, straight ahead of you. Right here, Canelo. Terrence Crawford, his name keeps coming up, and I know he's a lot smaller than you. Is that a fight that you would ever consider under any circumstance?
I always say if the fight make sense, why not? But he is not in the plan.
He's not in the plan?
No.
Okay. Is there a specific reason for it? Is it because of his size, or it won't do anything for you in terms of pushing you toward your goals?
Like I say, if it makes sense, maybe. I don't know right now. I just gonna enjoy this fight, and please let me enjoy this fight, and then you're gonna know what is next for sure.
Do you feel like, you said you weren't happy with the Ryder performance? Do you feel you got back to what made you Canelo tonight was the way you fought against Jermell?
Yeah, I think this is Canelo. I'm back. Finally, I'm back. I feel confident right now. I feel great, and I'm so happy because I didn't feel like this for a long time, but now I'm back.
Por acá, Andrés Cantera para W Deportes. Preguntarte por el tema de la condición física. Te vimos cerrar muy bien el combate, en todo momento presionaste desde el primer round. ¿Cómo te benefició ese cambio en el campo de entrenamiento?
Ya, sí que escuché. La verdad que me sentí muy bien. Me sentí muy bien. Todos los 12 asaltos como si fuera el primero, me sentí bastante bien. Obviamente me hubiera gustado que hubiera más pelea, pero obviamente Jermell Charlo es un gran peleador, salió a moverse, a defenderse muy bien y hicimos lo que teníamos que hacer, pero me sentí bastante bien.
Muchos dicen que ese es el estilo que se te había complicado en algún momento. Hoy, ¿qué enseñanza te dejó enfrentar a Jermell Charlo?
Pues yo creo que ese estilo se les complica a todo peleador, no nomás a mí. Creo que a todo peleador ese tipo de estilos se complican a todos los peleadores, ¿no? Es parte de... Pero creo que hizo un buen trabajo y eso me tiene contento.
Canelo, right over here. Marcus Hayes, FightHype TV champ. Congratulations on another great performance. I wanted to ask you, can you take us back to the 7th round when you scored the knockdown? Can you walk us back through the sequence through your eyes and what you were thinking?
No, I work in the body, the whole fight. I work in the body, and then I change my punch, and I take him, and that's what happened with a good punch with right hand.
In my meetings with you this week, champ, I asked you, we spoke specifically about what you were going to do, and you looked at me and you said, you're going to see, the whole world is going to see. Did you show what you wanted to show tonight, champ?
Yeah, I would love to do more, but you need to, you have him in front of a great fighter. He do his job, he move a lot, but I'm happy what I did in the fight. I'm very happy because I feel great.
Canelo, you're over here.
Hi, Dan.
How are you? Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My question for you, as it relates to Charlo, I think it seemed to a lot of people that he seemed so happy at the press conference. I know you weren't here, but and smiling, and he was happy that he survived. He said, "Oh, you knocked out all these other guys, but you didn't knock him out." That it felt like the game plan was to come in, go 12 rounds with Canelo Alvarez, take a big paycheck, and go back and be champion at junior middleweight. Do you feel like he really ever, at any point in the fight, tried to win?
I think that happened with a lot of fighters, and that's not in my mind, right? To just survive it is not that way. But then I did my job, right?
But this is not about you not doing your job.
Yeah. I did my job, and I think he never do something to win.
So did you then feel like,
no,
pretty much from the first bell, like you had this fight in your control after like round one, he never speeds, never really stepped on the gas, never really came forward, and you just marched in and pretty much did what you wanted to do. Is that sort of how you felt?
That was my plan, neutralize everything, what he's gonna come with. His counter punching, with the left hand, and I try to don't get hit, and sometimes the fighters can't do anything in the ring too.
And just to clarify, when you say your comments after the fight and now again here, that Canelo is back, is that because the hand is now 100%?
Yeah, my hand is 100%, and I feel good. I feel great. I feel in my prime. I feel fresh, and I'm ready.
So all the people that said that Canelo was past his best days, this is what you showed them tonight?
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
¿Qué tal, Saúl? Arturo Sanguino de este lado. Arturo Sanguino para el periódico El Universal. Saúl, siendo autocrítico, ¿qué crees que te faltó el día de hoy para lograr el knockout?
Nada, mira, son 12 rounds para mostrar quién es el mejor, por eso son 12 asaltos, ¿no? A veces se da el knockout, a veces no se da el knockout. Hice lo que tenía que hacer, ¿no? También tenemos un peleador enfrente que se sabe mover muy bien, hizo un gran trabajo y hice lo que tenía que hacer, estoy muy contento con mi trabajo.
Mencionabas que querías disputar la victoria del día de hoy, sin embargo, ¿cuál es el siguiente reto? La revancha contra Bivol, Benavidez, por ahí habían adelantado. ¿En qué piensas, Saúl Canelo Álvarez y Eddie Reynos?
Como lo dije, ahorita disfrutar, después sentarnos con nuestro equipo, con Al y ver qué es lo que sigue.
Ahora, justo en ese sentido, ¿qué crees que fue lo que Charlo tuvo en esta pelea que te mantuvo justamente alejado de él como tal para poderlo noquear?
No, pues yo creo que en algún momento de la pelea salió a moverse, a que le pegara lo menos que se podía y pues es un buen peleador, no por nada es indiscutido también, entonces hay que darle crédito también a Jermell.
Nos compartías que en esta pelea querías demostrarte a ti mismo que sigues en la cima. ¿Con qué sentimiento te vas de esta noche?
Muy bien, muy contento.
Gracias.
All right, let's go to Martin Batar. Martin, if you can do your best to try to summarize for the people at home watching.
All right, so as far as why Charlo didn't get knocked out, you fight 12 rounds, you try to show why you're the best. That's exactly what I did. Gotta give Charlo credit. He's an undisputed champion in his division for a reason. So, that's how the fight went. And then as far as there was a question about his future plans, and Canelo said that he's going to sit down with Al Heyman and the rest of his team, and they're going to decide on his future. Nothing is decided yet. Go ahead. Next question.
Hey Canelo, how are you? Right here to you. Nice to meet you, Najee from Cigar Talk. Congratulations on your win tonight. I come to a lot of the fights, and obviously the Mexican fans always show up for you in a big way. It's always crazy, but tonight you chose to bring out the Santa Fe clan, and when they came out, it was like extra crazy, and they kind of did this song. What was your, I guess your reasoning, or how do you decide who you're going to pick to walk out with you?
You know, I just hear one song of Santa Fe Clan. The name is Por Mi Mexico. Him and a guy just died, and I love it. And we call him, Eddie called him and say, hey, you wanna come and go with me to the ring? And he said yes. And you know what's amazing? I enjoy a lot. The people was so crazy, so happy, and I enjoy it a lot.
Canelo, buenas noches. Felipe Valenzuela, Univisión 34. Acá hasta atrás, donde están las cámaras. Felicidades por tu reinado en para los dos, para él y para ti. ¿Qué faltó para el knockout y cómo te sentiste? Parece que Charlo durante el campamento habló y habló y habló. Parece que fue un corderito dentro del cuadrilátero. Pero ¿qué le faltó a Canelo para finalmente noquearlo? La gente piensa que es muy fácil, pero son 12 rounds como tú lo dices.
Así es, no, mira, 12 rounds son por algo, ¿no? Para mostrar quién es mejor en 12 asaltos. En el boxeo a veces se da el knockout y a veces no. No se pudo en esta ocasión. También tenemos un gran peleador enfrente, ¿no? Que se sabe mover muy bien, es un gran peleador. Hicimos nuestro trabajo y estoy contento con lo que hice. La verdad que a veces no se puede noquear y no por eso no pasa. Aparte, si noqueas porque noqueas, si ganas por decisión porque ganas por decisión. Entonces yo estoy muy contento con el trabajo que hice, me sentí muy bien y eso es lo que me hace sentir feliz.
Y para Eddie también, Carell, has empezado la carrera de Canelo de principio a fin. Me imagino que tienes una satisfacción muy grande de tener un gran campeón mexicano y una leyenda ya viviente, y por qué no ser uno de los mejores boxeadores de la historia.
No, pues es un trabajo de muchos años que empezamos también con mi papá, que está aquí a un lado, y pues orgulloso de seguir avanzando, de seguir creciendo en el boxeo y seguir demostrando que México siempre es una cuna de buenos boxeadores.
Martin?
As far as the question for Canelo, why couldn't you knock Charlo out? Again, it was 12 rounds. And Charlo is a savvy fighter, someone that can move around the ring. And you know, sometimes if you win by knockout, you win by knockout. Sometimes you win by decision, and you win by decision. So I'm happy with the work I did. I did my job. In the end, that's what has me really happy with how everything turned out. And then as far as Eddie and having coached one of the greatest of all time by now, it's the fruits of labor that I did with my dad for decades now. And you know, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of grit, and in the end, the results they get to show themselves. Gracias.
Hola Saúl, ¿cómo estás? Acá Enrique Beas de Radio Centro y de MBS Televisión. Felicidades, gusto saludarte, buenas noches. Dos cositas rápidas. El mensaje que mandas, de decir que tu vida es el box, que amas el box. Alguien que ya lo tiene todo, ¿cómo seguir encontrando un deporte que necesita y requiere hambre, que requiere ese ímpetu? Y paralelamente, saber, ¿es un tema de contrato el que ya tus mensajes sean en inglés o por qué ya no son en español más que el Viva México, cabrones?
No, me encantaría hablar en español, ¿no? Antes porque no hablaba inglés, ahora porque no hablo español. Entonces, me encantaría hablar en general español. Pues es lo que, ahora sí que es lo que hablo mejor, pero pues al final de cuentas pues también hay que darle respeto a la prensa que habla en inglés y a la gente que también nos ve, y por eso lo hago más que nada. Pero a mí hablar español pues es lo mío, ¿no? Hago un esfuerzo muy grande al hablar el inglés, porque yo no estudié ni tomé clases de inglés, simplemente el hablar con mis amigos, el verlo en la televisión, lo he aprendido, y hago un esfuerzo muy grande para poder expresarme a nivel mundial con la gente y estar orgulloso de que un mexicano lo haga.
y cómo seguir encontrando ese hambre del boxeo que tanto amas.
Amo lo que hago. Estuve 3 meses concentrado, muy feliz, muy contento. Amo lo que hago y estar involucrado en este tipo de peleas grandes, peleas que me motiven. Eso es lo que me mantiene.
Martín.
The first question was, why all of a sudden are you speaking in English all the time? And really, it's about respecting everybody. The media here, the entire world, speaking in English, it's the way that they understand me, so I want to respect them. And besides, it took me a long time to learn English. I didn't study it, like in school, and then it took me a long time to do it, so I'm proud of the way I do it. I represent Mexico with pride too. I would like to speak Spanish all the time if I could, but I gotta respect the media and everybody here. And then the second question was about his love of boxing. How does it, continue on after all these years? And Canelo said that, like, I love boxing. That's why I spent 3 months away from everything, away from my family, and that's why I continue doing it, because of the love of sport.
All right, guys, 2 more questions.
Yeah. Saúl, Ernesto Amador, de nuevo puedes jugar boxeo aquí, por favor. Muchas gracias. 2 preguntas rápidamente. La primera de ellas, creo que terminado el mes de septiembre, el mes más mexicano, envías un mensaje de empoderamiento al mexicano. ¿A qué me refiero? Uno ve Viva México, cabrones, Canelo Promotions, soy mexicano y es mi bandera. ¿Qué mensaje envías desde el punto de vista de promotor, de patrocinador, de peleador? Y aparte te das el lujo de empezar a tener un récord interesante en defensas. Esa sería la primera pregunta.
Pues no sé cómo contestarte, porque no es como que quiera dar un mensaje no sé realmente cómo contestarte esa pregunta. No es como que quiera dar un mensaje o que lo haga por dar un mensaje, no, más bien ¿qué mensaje ven ustedes? Esa es la pregunta para ustedes. La verdad es que lo único que te puedo decir es que me siento muy orgulloso de poder representar a mi país en cualquier lado del mundo donde me pare y poder decir un mexicano mueve todo esto, ¿no? Y el poder ver a la afición contenta, gritando, emocionada, eso me enorgullece muchísimo. Y creo que si pudiera mandar un mensaje, creo que mandar un mensaje que todo se puede en la vida, ¿no? De venir de nada a llegar a donde estoy y poder liderar esto es un orgullo para mí.
The question was about being not just Canelo the fighter, but Canelo the businessman representing Mexico all over the world. And Canelo was saying that he's so proud of representing Mexico all over the world, and he wants Mexico to know that he loves representing it. And look at all the fans tonight, being cheerful and enjoying every single moment of it. So he doesn't really know what message he will send in the beginning, but if there is one message to send, is that anything can be accomplished in life if you set your mind to it. Go ahead, second question.
Finalmente, Canelo, un tema personal, siempre has dicho que ya te da igual lo que piense la gente, y lo cual es muy grato. Al final de cuentas, creo que esta noche peleaste para ti, y te pregunto, ¿es una de las actuaciones que más disfrutaste, que le regalaste tú a Saúl, ese reencuentro con ese boxeo que sorprendió? Prácticamente le dieron un round a Charlo. Entonces, olvidándonos de lo que la gente pensara, preguntándole Canelo a Canelo, ¿es la noche más feliz, la que más has disfrutado boxísticamente hablando?
Pues disfruto todas, es una de las que más he disfrutado, obviamente, porque creo que, como lo dije, ¿no? Nunca creyó en mis habilidades como peleador, se lo demostré hoy, y he tenido muchas noches muy bonitas, y esa es una de ellas.
The question was about whether this was the happiest night Canelo has ever had in boxing, and this definitely has been one of the prettiest, happiest nights I've had. Charlo didn't believe in my skills, and I showed him why he was wrong. So I've had a lot of, memorable nights in boxing. This was definitely one of them.
Canelo, Cynthia Conte, Best Women's Boxing Show, period. Congratulations on a dominating win. I just want to let you know, my co-host Deandra LaBeouf and I did not disrespect your drink, VMC.
Oh,
we
nice.
drank it with ice, the Paloma, and it was delicious. We drank all of the Jamaica, and we haven't opened the margarita yet, but yes,
Nice,
and we
nice.
sent you a video.
I'm glad you love it.
Yes, we do.
Glad
So
you
we
love
did
it.
not disrespect. Congratulations. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it.
Thank you guys for
Gracias.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Gracias, Saúl.
Oye, Saúl, hemos platicado de tu amistad, por ejemplo, con Sergio Pérez. En la Fórmula 1 luego se dice que a veces cuando tienen hijos pierden un poco la fiereza porque temen lo que le pueda pasar a su persona si dejan a sus hijos, ¿no? En tu caso, sabemos que eres boxeador desde que eras padre. ¿Cuánto te inspira, sobre todo ahora que tus hijos cada vez están más grandes y conscientes, a seguir haciendo historia que ellos puedan recordar? Y para aquellos que decían, es que ya se va a retirar un año porque ya tienen todo, ese récord de 23 campeones enfrentados, te faltan 4, ¿vas a estar suficiente tiempo para alcanzarlo?
Pues yo me siento muy bien, mientras que me siga sintiendo así, no sé cuántos años más voy a estar en el boxeo, pero estoy disfrutando cada momento en el boxeo, disfrutando que mis hijos tengan la oportunidad de verme la disciplina con la que tomo mi deporte, la disciplina con la que lo hago, y que aprendan de eso para que en sus vidas les sirva de mucho, ¿no? Y me enorgullece muchísimo.
The question was about when Canelo met Formula One driver Sergio Perez, fellow Mexican. They talked about how, you know, like when you have kids, you lose your drive. And then the follow-up question was also about how long he plans to stay in boxing. And it's really about, he doesn't know how long he's going to stay in boxing, but he's enjoying the fact that he gets to show his kids what he does. Whether he chases records or not, that's unknown. But the fact that he's getting to show his family and enjoy it with his family, that's what it's all about for him.
Thank you guys. Have a good evening.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up one more time for the undisputed super middleweight champion, Saúl Canelo Alvarez. All right, ladies. Don't forget, Canelo Charlo replay on Showtime next Saturday, followed by the All Access epilogue. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and have a great night.
Saúl, is Benavidez gonna get it? Is Benavidez gonna get it? I don't know about this.
I don't know what like, bro, I didn't even want to ask you. Someone else should have the balls and said, ask you this question. I'm sick of asking. You know? Take care. Accelerate here. Go ahead, just make your return. Do 2 more to PVC. I tried this. Look at our water. Look at this one. Look at our water. These levels. Levels to walk. These levels. Look at our water. Look at that. Yeah. Okay, see you guys.
Te quería apoyar, te decía, si está tu nombre, avisa a la gente.
Mi maleta me la pasa, amigo, me la aventaste. Gracias.
Que tengas buen viaje.
No, sí. Pero estaba equivocado. Estaba equivocado.
So be it.
Another one in the book.
Yeah, I was here for this man's fight. I was here for Kay. We had some flips in New York later this week. So that's been easy. Yeah. Yes. So we're on Long Island, and the ground is so saturated that the water is coming up like through the floor. Maybe by next week. But like it was really raining from last Saturday to today. There was only one day of reprieve. Every other day, rain. It's just. I'm gonna go now. I go home. I leave. He lives in the middle of nowhere in New York now, so he doesn't. It's near. So when you live out there, crowd. You stay put where you are. So he said, why don't you go there if you want? I got the big story done. I'll take some photos of beer. I filed like the first draft enough to get people's safety.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah.
How's it going?
How about the park? I was trying to get a cheaper place, but overall it didn't work out. So, yeah, exactly. There we go. Just because every other day is like fair. Next Saturday,
he's going to send me a Zoom.
Joe Smith.
Do you have it?
I didn't know if he sent me one yet.
Here, I got you. What is it? Bleacher?
Yeah, Bleacher Box. Joe Smith, Scott Concerto.
At Gmail?
Yep, that's it. No, Lou actually will be here. Because the same weekend, he's heading to this one to be actually so he figured he'd get it. I hope someone records it actually. That would be really fun.
Damn, me and Ben were on the same page, kissing the door like a boss by his wife. That's what I was on to.
Canada. 3 classes you're getting conducted. Got it?
casinos.
You have the meeting ID and everything?
Bro, just email me, Fighter IQ Media.
Alright.
Just email me, just slap your hands on like 5.
Fighter IQ Media at Gmail.
Like that. Since we've been here for the week,
Alright, just send it.
Not even for the double.
What do you think compared to the UFC?
They got right now. They have a lot of money.
I like the
Am I on chat? Chat? Am I here? Am I here, chat? Is it the part of the night? Hold on, I'm gonna make sure that I am in fact live and direct, chat. Hold on. Gotta make sure first. Hold on, chat. Gotta make sure I'm live and direct first. And then we get to my favorite part of the night. Just a moment. Okay, I'm in. All right, chat. Hold on. I want to see you all from my cell phone before I begin. Hold on, chat. I have to see myself. All right. Waiting for your boy. Here I am. All right. We good. Chat. This is my favorite part of the night. It's the part where I get to tell you, I told you so. Hold on, chat. Okay, we're good. We got Wi-Fi. Chat. Chat, my lovely chat. Hold on, chat. Let me clean this camera. Boom, 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 boom. All right, we're good. Chat.
Are you covering any
All right, chat. So what happened tonight? Canelo Alvarez won, and your boy is now undefeated in 2023 on the big ones, on the big fights. Okay? Got them all right. So Sean is not drunk. I'm not drunk. I'm just tired, and it's been a long week. But Canelo Alvarez wins this fight, and I said Fight Week. What's beautiful about Fight Week, guys, is Fight Week sometimes, a lot of times, provides foreshadowing. And Jermell Charlo, from his demeanor all week long, he let us know he wasn't really coming to win this fight. He wasn't himself at all week, and he didn't fight like himself at all in this fight. He was light in the ass. He was light in the ass. There was a lot of talk of that light in the ass stuff about Terrence Crawford around in the Errol Spence fight and everything, but it was Jermell Charlo who at 168 pounds lived up to that old cliche in boxing. And just kind of like Adrian Broner did against Manny Pacquiao, just fought to survive tonight. And he succeeded in doing so. He seized the final bell. And I don't want to trash Jermell Charlo or anything. He is a great fighter at 154 pounds, arguably a top 10 154 pounder in boxing history, but was completely shut out tonight. I actually didn't really think he won a round tonight. I believe Showtime gave him a round, maybe the 5th. And I didn't really think he won that round. It was 12-0 Canelo Alvarez. And I did think Canelo could maybe get the knockout, but Jermell Charlo fought to survive, did not want to exchange with Canelo at all during the fight. The one time he really got hurt in the fight, he immediately went to a knee so that Canelo couldn't follow it up and hurt him worse and get a knockout. And Charlo, it wasn't really any point in the fight that he decided to survive. It kind of looked like he made that decision
Oh, yeah. You guys just give a second. Sean's laptop died, so bear with him. He's over there getting it together, so just chilling on here for a little bit. Like I said, Sean will be right back. His laptop died, so. Alright. Here, I'll just show you. He's over there. Yeah, for sure. See you Tuesday. Oh, yeah. You see that? He doesn't know I got him filmed, but he is nervous. So just give him some time. Oh my god. Give him some time. Just kick it in here.
Oh yeah. Right, it was. Tuesday too. What do you have now? I'm the actually, you know, UFC access. Okay. I worked there recently and there's
You have your phone? See you martes.
Yeah, I'm going to just tell me perfect time.
Take care, man. Good. Oh, yeah, man. Hi, Sean.
Chat. Your boy is back. You were not gonna get off. You were not gonna get off that easy from the douchebag. I told you so fast that I like to pull after these big fights in Vegas. You're not getting off that easy. This light is killing me. Hold on, chat. Let me. All right, that's better. But yeah, but you know, I don't know how much assessment this fight really needs from me. If you know boxing, you understood Charlo fought to survive, didn't deny really that that's what he tried to do tonight rather than try to win. And Canelo felt the same way after the fight. I believe we already have it up on FightHype if you guys want to check it out on our videos. But yeah, Charlo fought to survive tonight. And it's easy for someone like me who's watching the fight to say, hey, Charlo, why didn't you go for broke? Hey, Charlo, why didn't you do more? The man made a health decision that he wanted to collect his big paycheck and go home with it in one piece with all his faculties. And he didn't want to risk, getting concussed, getting a knockout. So that's his prerogative. I don't think anybody enjoyed spending $85 on Charlo's performance. It wasn't pay-per-view worthy. But I still got love for Jermell Charlo. I do wish he would have went out the way he's always been. Mr. Keep Running Your Mouth, big heart, big passion. But he really didn't let go of much tonight. He really didn't. He fought to survive, and he managed to do so. Again, it reminded me of Adrian Broner versus Manny Pacquiao. It was actually even a little worse than that because Broner landed some right hands on Pacquiao and opened up a few times with the right hand, but pretty much the same type of fight on Broner and Charlo's end. Now, I think that what's up, Raider Reaper? What's up, everybody? I think that the main question we're all looking for now is how would Canelo do against Benavidez? he shot down Crawford just now in the post fight. He said, basically said, I'm not interested in the Crawford fight, which I understand because there's nothing in it for Canelo and there's a whole lot in it for Crawford. If Crawford were to beat Canelo, it would do so much for him. But if Canelo beats Crawford, he beat a welterweight who was once a lightweight. And if he loses to Crawford, it's even more humiliating. Now, if he loses to David Benavidez, he lost to a younger, bigger guy, and he's handing him the torch. And based on what I saw tonight, I continue to pick Benavidez over Canelo because, and it's not because of Canelo's skills. Skill for skill, I think Canelo still has the edge over David Benavidez. But Canelo at 33 really likes to fight at his pace, a certain pace that he dictates and he controls. And I don't think he'd be able to dictate and control the pace with David Benavidez the way he has with several fighters. I think Benavidez in the second half of that fight would get into an offensive rhythm. Benavidez gets only better. And Canelo with the pace, he didn't gas tonight at all. And I was a little worried about that heading into the fight, as you guys knew. But he didn't gas at all tonight because Charlo put up no resistance and let him dictate and the pace however he see fit. Now, David Benavidez with a great jab, great hand speed, great size, youth, activity, and very, very good punching power in both hands. He's not going to allow Canelo to just fight at this cruise control pace. And I think that he'll, in the second half of that fight, like the Bivol fight, Canelo will begin to tire. And unlike Bivol, David doesn't have Bivol's feet. He's not quite the pure box. He's not the pure boxer that Dimitri Bivol is, but he has tremendous hand speed and a tremendous jab if you stay in front of him. Now, if you're moving around on him like Caleb Plant, he might not get it going as easily. But if you come in front like Canelo does, you know, cutting the ring off, all that, he can get the jab going against Canelo. So Benavidez has to avoid getting dropped to the body early in that fight because Canelo is such an accurate, exquisite body puncher. He places those left hooks to the body beautifully tonight. So Benavidez has to be careful of that. But if Canelo can't knock him out and they get into the thick of the fight in the middle and the second half of the fight, I think that favors the younger, bigger man who likes to fight at a faster and a higher and higher pace as the fight goes on. I just hope we see it because nobody wanted to ask Canelo in the post-fight about Benavidez, and I'm kind of fucking sick of asking him about David Benavidez. But despite that, when he left the podium, I went over and said, "Hey, Saul, will you fight Benavidez?" And he said, "I'm not sure, buddy." Basically, fuck off. So I hope he fights Benavidez next. I think he will because he is a true champion. I've heard some positive rumblings from people in the business that there's nothing in writing, but there's a maybe kind of a handshake deal on Benavidez being the third fight in this 3-fight deal. I hope that's the case. I believe that's the case because Canelo is a true champion. And if he didn't want to fight Benavidez, he could have just shot it down like he did Crawford when I did ask him, and he didn't do that. He basically just told me to go fuck myself, but he didn't shoot down the fight. So I do think the fight will happen, and we'll find out who in 2024 is truly the Mexican monster. And, you know, they both are Mexican monsters as far as I'm concerned. Well, David's a Mexican-American Ecuadorian monster, if we're being technical, but that's a great fight. Canelo can still fold him, get underneath the taller man with that tall, slender, big target abdomen. And David Benavidez has still got to get past Demetrius Andrade, but I think he will. Demetrius Andrade, it might look similar to the Caleb Plant fight. He does very well early, but Andrade is a guy that after 4 rounds likes to coast, kind of a little bit in a much different way, but like Canelo, they like to fight at their pace. And Benavidez doesn't let you do that. Because he doesn't let you do that, he's vulnerable to getting hit with a big shot in the middle of his punches, in between his punches, in the exchange, maybe to the body, that tall, slender frame again, that big target to hit. But Benavidez has fast hands. He's big, he punches hard, and he's young. Just hope that we get to see it, guys. So let me say what's up to some people in the chat. I like Crawford versus Canelo. Crawford has the tenacity to beat Canelo with his IQ. I don't think it's out of the question that Crawford can move up 21 pounds and beat Canelo, especially with your boy Victor Conte and Snack. But I think if that fight for Crawford is just a matter of how can he withstand the power of a man so much physically bigger than he is, and does he lose any speed going up 21 pounds? If by some way Crawford basically transitions the same amount of hand speed, keeps everything he's got from 47 to 68, everything carries up, then yeah, he could very well beat Canelo Alvarez, but Canelo didn't seem too interested in that fight. So we'll see. I really kind of puzzled as to who fight number 2 is going to be. There's no obvious answer. They float out Jermell Charlo, but how legitimate of a fight is that after Jermell's been gone for 2.5 years? And it was also weird to see Jermell Charlo stand up smiling after the 11th round when his brother was losing the fight handily. I didn't know what he was smiling about. But yeah, I don't know how much, PBC can float that as, I mean, they can do what they want and we'll watch it. And that's why they can do what they want. But I don't know how legit of matchup you could try to sell it as when the man hasn't fought in 2.5 years and he's never fought at 168 and his brother just got dominated despite being the more accomplished fighter between the two. He's smaller. Charlo's bigger. The older Charlo is, so probably has a better style for Canelo. But while we're on the subject, Jermell Charlo lacks the educated feet and the great defense to get out of the way of Canelo's accuracy and bombs. So I don't really know how much better he could do than Jermell. It might just be a little bit more entertaining. But he's rumored to be maybe facing Jose Benavidez Jr. That's a terrible fight. Jose Benavidez Jr., his best days were at 40 and 47. He's looked very sluggish and not the fighter he once was at 154. Now you'd be asking him to go to 60 or even 68 for the co-main event of Charlo of Benavidez and Andrade. I think to really sell a Jermell Charlo fight against Canelo, he'd have to move up to 68 and beat a Caleb Plant or something like that, or at least fight at 60 and beat Carlos Adames. But it's almost an unrealistic ask of Charlo to go up to 68 and fight Plant off a 2.5-year layoff. But that's the situation he's in, and Canelo's got a second fight coming up in probably next May. So I don't know who the second opponent is. David Morrell brings no money to the table, and he's very dangerous with no accomplishments. He's the perfect high risk, no reward fighter. So there's no way Canelo would fight David Morrell. So I don't know who fight number 2 is. He shot down Crawford. Jermell Charlo, that's a tough sell. And David Morrell is too young, too good with nothing to offer. So I don't know, chat. We'll see. But it's Canelo's night. He won every round. All-time great. Would have got the knockout if Jermell would have exchanged a little bit more and opened up more. Jermell knew that. That's why he didn't do it. So good on Canelo. 12-zip. Salute to you, champ. But yeah, fight David Benavidez, brother. And let's see it. Let's see it. A lot of people, most people I talk to that know their shit, know their boxing, feel that Canelo will win that fight. I'm more in the minority of giving the edge to the younger guy. So maybe Canelo turns Benavidez. Maybe Benavidez is to Canelo what Canelo was to Mayweather. And in his 30s, he beats a promising young up-and-comer just to solidify how great he is. So I just hope it happens. What's up, Marcos Chaz? What's up, Raider Reaper? What's up, Jesus M? Christian, Boohoo, Scotty Dippin. Everyone in the chat's talking about culture is everything. Let's see. Okay, so Raider Reaper, my man Raider Reaper said, Benavidez doesn't have defense like Charlo does. I disagree. I think Benavidez is so much more offensive than Charlo and really doesn't get hit as much or more than Charlo. And that's while taking more chances than Charlo stylistically. I think people underestimate Benavidez's reflexes a little bit. He has some good reflexes. And he has a good high guard. When he goes in his high guard, though, the body is begging to be, and Canelo can do that like no other. But he has a good high guard. He'll lay on the ropes with that high guard, and some shots will get through. But he has a solid high guard, and he has some reflexes, too. The problem is when he relies on his reflexes, he leaves his chin exposed. And Canelo, when he uses his reflexes, it's more disciplined, it's tighter. But Benavidez has good reflexes, too. So I don't actually know if Jermell Charlo has better defense than David Benavidez. Outside of Caleb Plant in that first Ronald Gavril fight where he was a baby, he hasn't taken that many hits. Now I realize he hasn't. Anthony Durrell touched him up too, but Anthony Durrell at that time was fast and still has some juice left in the tank, as opposed to after that fight. But That's a good debate one way or the other. I don't think my opinion that Benavidez has a better defense than Charlo is foolproof. There's some people who would disagree, but I think for as offensive as Benavidez is, he doesn't get hit as much as people say he does. And yeah, he's got some reflexes, a solid high guard. I think Charlo utilizes his footwork better, making his defense by far better than Benavidez. Yeah, Benavidez doesn't really use footwork. He's just, he is plotting. He is plotting and slow on his feet. You are correct, Raider Reaper. But Charlo, in order to use that movement to make you punch, with the exception of the Castano rematch, he's usually not punching off that movement a whole lot. So he's making you miss, but you don't have to really worry about anything coming back. Certainly not tonight. You always got to worry about something coming back with Benavidez. He's trying to get some. So he's taking more chances than Charlo typically does. And Charlo, despite being a smaller man than Benavidez, to speak to my point, Raider Reaper, he usually only throws about 40 punches around. David could get up there to 70, 80 punches around, and he's a much bigger man than Charlo and still has a much better work rate. So again, I think that work rate is going to be an issue for Canelo. And if Canelo, in the first 6 to 8 rounds, can't counter him in the exchanges and hurt him and drop him and stop him, it's going to be a long night in the second half of the fight. So, Jermell fight, did you watch it? I didn't. I was busy running around trying to get reactions and then make it to the post-fight in time. I didn't see Jermell. How'd he look, Chad? I didn't see him. Floyd Mayweather came in and praised him, sold him to the high heavens. Floyd has a pretty good track record with that. He sold Broner. Broner may have went on to disappoint in some ways, but did become a multiple-time world champion. He stamped Errol Spence. Spence got dominated by Crawford 2 months ago, but Spence became a 3-belt champ. He said Tank would be great. Tank is now in the top 10 pound for pound. So Floyd, when he gets up on a podium and really stamps a guy, they don't tend to flop. Even if they're not going to be the next Floyd Mayweather, they don't flop. They have some real good success in boxing. So Jermell is going to have some really good success in boxing. He's going to be a world champion. This is a 4-belt era where if you're good, you're going to get to a world title at some point. And his ceiling is probably much better than just good. So I guess if, boxing was like the NFL and NBA, he would be this year's #1 overall draft pick, in this crop of rookies. So good for Jermell that he got the win. Jesus M asks, Sean, how tall is David Benavidez really? Well, I know I'm about 6 foot, maybe 6'1" on a good day, probably 6.5 feet. And David's taller than me by an inch or two. I think David is at minimum 6'1.5". I think he's actually 6'2". Tito, is David Benavidez 6'2", you think?
He looks about that, yeah.
He's big when you see him in person. Like, he's just big. He's a big guy. I think he's about 6'2". Now, one thing that is in Canelo's favor big time, David's not really a super middleweight anymore. He's a light heavyweight killing himself to get that. Not killing. He's a light heavyweight sucking down to super middleweight. And the longer he does that, and the older he gets, and the closer to 30 he gets, the more that catches up with him. That's a good advantage for Canelo. I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo has that in mind with why the fight is taking longer and longer to make, because he knows this guy is sucking down to 68. So
6'2.5".
6'2.5". That's his listing?
No, 6'2" on the dot.
6'2" on the dot. He's 6'2". My man Tito from Boxeo Mundial. If you guys are Spanish-speaking boxing fans, it's the best website in boxing. Boxeo Mundial for the Spanish-speaking fans. Too bad the Giants didn't do so well against the 49ers, however. Sorry, Tito. But some people in the chat are saying 6'3". He's 6'2". He's not quite 6'3". He's 6'2". Eric Baker said, who's Nello fighting next? Tim Zhu. He already beat up one blown-up junior middleweight. Why not beat up the other blown-up junior middleweight? Why not? Sure. Canelo is more accurate with his power punches versus 6-foot-plus opponents. Callum Smith, Caleb Plant. Caleb, I think, is right at 6 feet. But, yeah, tall guys haven't given him a lot of issues. Callum Smith was taller than Bivol. Yeah, he's got a big target. he's the most accurate body puncher in boxing is Canelo. So he's got a big target, and he'll certainly get those left hooks in under Benavidez' elbow. See you, Alan. See you, brother. Take care, brother. Peace out, Alan. My man Alan Dawson holding it down for FightHype as well. There he is. Good Englishman, fair Englishman. Bum Niners, says Eric Baker. We'll see about that, sir. We will be 4-0 12 hours from now, sir. All due respect. But we do got to see if Brock Purdy could fit the ball into tighter windows when we play better teams, and if he could really, really be accurate down the field on a consistent basis. But 49ers is today. It's already past midnight in Las Vegas, but they can wait. It's boxing right now. So, yes. There's a little over 300 people left. It's been an awesome long week. It's always fun covering these fights. I'm not going to lie. I'm happy I picked it right again. I'm selfishly becoming more concerned with picking fights right than anything else. It's probably not a good thing, but it is what it is. I do not want to come here on this live after one of these big fights and have to eat all the crow from the chat. I don't want it to happen. So, isn't the IBF mandatory due for Canelo? Asked Fuentes 4. Fuentes 4, it doesn't matter what mandatory is due when. He will do whatever the fuck he wants, and every sanctioning body will go along with it because 3% of Canelo Alvarez is worth so much more than 3% of anybody. So he can do what the fuck he wants. So Smoke is coming on the 8th. I know the next fight is on the 7th. Zerto versus Joe Smith. I think Zerto wins that fight. Even though he hasn't looked good at all lately, and he's let himself start to physically go. Looks like he doesn't take care of himself in between fights as well as he used to. Jesus M says, Sean, I scored 10 rounds for Lubin. It's quite the. I don't think anyone else did but you, Jesus M. So respect to you for thinking for yourself, brother. Seriously, but I didn't really get to watch that fight closely. I was busy working, but from what I watched in the first 3 or 4, it did look like Lubin was outboxing Ramos, and then around the 5th and 6th, Ramos's pressure seemed to get the better of it for me, but Ramos didn't make this fight dominating, convincing enough round to round to leave any shadow of a doubt, beyond any shadow of a doubt. I thought he did win the fight from what I could see, but he didn't dominate and impose himself the way I'm sure he wanted to, and let the rounds be close enough to where if a judge prefers a boxer over an aggressor, that's just the style they prefer a little bit. It was close enough that they could give that preference over to Lubin. So, and then to be fair to Lubin too, Jesus Ramos's face was touched up, was a little busted up after the fight, which lets you know Lubin was landing and touching him up. So, not a robbery from what I could see. I seem to think Lubin was landing the harder shots, especially from round 5 or 6 on, but I wasn't watching extremely closely. So, but from what I can see, it wasn't a robbery. There you have it. And then, we play the Niners on the 8th. Retribution. Oh, Eric Baker. Cowboys. Right, Cowboys. I'd have a lot more faith that the Cowboys could give us our first L if you guys didn't lose Trayvon Diggs last week. That was, your best corner. You still have Stephon Gilmore, Micah Parsons. It's still a very good team, but I'm not afraid of you guys now. I think the Niners whoop that ass next Sunday. So
just lost to the Cardinals.
You just lost to the Cardinals, brother. I know that's because you guys were reeling from Trayvon Diggs, but Niners are going 5-0. So okay, and that now also let's get to Barrios versus Ugas. And the douche bragging has not ended, chat. It hasn't. Because let's take a look at your man's. Hold on. Get in focus. Hold on. Can't do it. Wait. There it is. But it's backwards. I'll read it to you. It says Barrios is plus 300 against an older fighter coming off a brutal loss and 18 months of inactivity. Take that bet if you're looking for one. I hope you took the bet. I don't know. Vegas is so smart. They're really good at picking who should be the favorite. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking this time. Ugas got dominated, got physically hurt, injured, lost, eye socket, not lost an eye socket, he got his eye socket, orbital broken. And then the guy that did it to him looked terrible in his next fight. So it wasn't like Spence looked so hot that you could say, well, I mean, he lost to this guy. Spence looked terrible after making Ugas look terrible. And Ugas is in his late 30s and coming off a 1.5-year layoff. And Barrios is ascending. He's not some elite fighter. He's a good fighter, but he's ascending. You could see against Keith Thurman, even though that was a very non-competitive, competitive fight. Like Keith Thurman won almost every round, but Barrios was right there, was just off the mark with some of his counters, was just off the mark with some of his offense. Keith was just a step ahead of him. But from the amount of punches Barrios let go of, you could see he grew in confidence from the Tank fight. And then now he's much more confident and comfortable than the timid guy that was with Virgil Hunter. He lets go of his shots. So he drops Ugas twice and beats him. And now he's in line for one of the vacant titles Crawford will vacate if he moves up from 47. So, props to Barrios. Expected him to win the fight. He took care of business as he should have as a younger fighter against an older fighter who had coming off a devastating loss and a lot of inactivity. Did what he was supposed to do tonight. And now he's in line to fight for one of those 4 belts that Crawford will maybe free up if he moves up. So, and then speaking of Crawford, he shut down the Charlo fight on Twitter. So now I'm wondering, chat, like if Crawford is saying 154 is out the window for a Spence rematch, and if you already told Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman to go fuck themselves, and he said Jaron Ennis doesn't bring anything to the table, too young, unproven. And if the only fight he wants is Canelo, but Canelo just said no, then what is Terrence Crawford going to do next? So I don't know. That's a good one. Maybe do the Spence rematch after all, because all of a sudden there's no other options anyways. You guys know my pipe dream is that he somehow has to fight Jaron Ennis, even though he doesn't want to. That's the best fight in that division by far. That was the best fight in that division before the Errol Spence fight. Sorry, Spence fans, but Jaron Ennis has been better than Errol Spence. He just hasn't had the ability to prove it yet. But the eye test tells you Boots would have beat Spence. And Boots is the toughest test for Crawford because he can do everything Crawford could do. He can switch hit. He's super fast. He punches very hard and loves to fight. That's the James Toney, Mike McCallum fight right there. We'll probably never see it, but I don't know. Maybe the chances are going up because, again, he said no Danny, no Thurman, ever. He said Ennis, nope. He said about people like me who want that fight, kiss my ass, something like that on one of the radio shows. He's basically said he just wants Canelo, but Canelo just said he doesn't want him. So I don't know. We'll see. Do you think we see Boots versus Barrios next year, Scotty Dippin? It's certainly a possibility. There's levels to this. Like I said, Barrios is good and he's ascending. He probably gets blown out and stopped by Ennis. And that's no diss to Barrios. That's just the kind of talent that Jaron Ennis is. I think he would stop Mario Barrios. I think he would stop Amanis Stanionis. I think he would stop Cody Crowley. Sorry, Cody. Shout out to you, brother. But I think he would stop all these guys at welterweight. The only guy I wouldn't say he would stop is Terrence Crawford. So that's the fight I want to see. But I get it. He hasn't fought nobody. He hasn't proven that. Okay, well, okay. Crawford and Andrade have old blood. That might be next. Eric McNaught. Andrade's slated to fight Benavidez in November in San Antonio, probably Thanksgiving weekend. November 25th in San Antonio against Benavidez. That's up next, and I think Benavidez wins that fight. You look like an old Drake Bell. It's just the lighting, bro. Look young. It's okay. Let's see. Crowley, pretty good. I wouldn't say that. Crowley's good. He's very tough. He has amazing conditioning. But he gets hit a lot. He's come straight forward, no special effects, not a big puncher, not super athletic. He's just very, 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 very tough and very, very, very well conditioned. And he knows how to fight on the inside. But that's a mismatch. Cody Crowley and Jaron Ennis. That's a mismatch. There's an AI robot behind me. Get some sleep, bro. It's coming. All right, I'll get some sleep. I will see you guys tomorrow. tune in on the live and let's recap everything with me with a good night's rest. Thank you everyone for kicking it for a little bit past midnight with me here in the media room. I hope everyone enjoyed the fight, or at least enjoyed Canelo's performance. At the end of the night, I give Canelo A-. I give him an A-. So good for him. You know, he's still a top 5 pound for pound fighter. I still think Crawford and Inoue, you got to put him ahead of him based on tonight's performance, but Usyk probably as well. So Canelo might be number 4 pound for pound right now. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Have a great night. Blow us a kiss. Okay. Mwah.
Yeah.
Let's go.